Evening, boys.
Evening, Sally.
Welcome to The Chatting, your local pubcast. I'm Rob.
I'm Kirk.
I'm Mark.
And I'm the other Mark. 3 pints, Sally. And what are you having?
Go on, I'll have a Pimm's.
Cheers. I'll fetch him over.
Evening, boys.
Evening, Rob.
How are we doing? All right.
Good, how are you?
I'm okay, but where's Mark?
I'm here.
Not you, the
You
other
mean
one.
the other one, the one that's not sat down?
Oh, you mean Mark that's not here?
Oh, is it?
yeah.
Oh, hold on. What's he saying? Oh, here we go.
No. Oh, dear.
Are you happy, mate?
Buzzy.
Don't have that too
You know why, Mark?
Don't have that on too long.
gotta roll.
We'll get a copyright strike.
How long can I play it for? 30 seconds. I'll turn it down.
I'm guessing you didn't get tickets.
I did get tickets.
Hey! Oh, well done, mate.
The bad news is I'm about to sell the Tesla. Paid a bit over the odds.
I bet you are so chuffed, because
Yeah.
we all know. We've talked about it
I was
enough.
shaking like one of those dogs that was going to the toilet when I got to the front of the queue.
Well, first off, Mark,
Me?
you've said on numerous occasions
Yep.
it'll never happen.
Well, it's still not happened technically yet. there's still time for him to split up. There's still time for it all to go pear-shaped.
Called it, didn't I?
You did call it.
You did.
You did call it.
I was very dubious, I'll be
I
honest.
mean, clearly the skin. That's what it's down to. They're short of money.
I wouldn't disagree with that.
They're doing it for money.
But why now, though? That's
Money.
what I don't
Money.
understand.
Exactly the reason why I said, because when next year lapses, which is the 30th anniversary, what's the story? There won't be another anniversary that would be, justifiable, and for them to be, because Noel is 57.
Is it?
Yeah, he's not going to be, wanting to do a reunion when he's nearly 70. And 31 years has not got the same ring to it, has it? It's the 30th anniversary.
Yeah, true.
What I would say is don't get too excited, Mark, because I remember back in the day when I got Michael Jackson tickets.
We both did.
I'm hoping that one of these aren't going to have an
Yeah.
overdose.
Well, I don't think it's an overdose. It's an argument. I think that you've got to worry about.
So that's my question then. Do you think they've actually made up then? Or do you think this is one of them things where they've gone, oh, sorry, let's just do it?
What's going on behind the closed doors?
Exactly. Well, I'm not sure. Well, nobody knows. But what is interesting is that there was a guy on Radio X. He came on, obviously, he was one of the producers, I think, and he was feeding into Chris Moyles. He'd done some research, and it was exactly the same number of years, days, weeks and days to them splitting up from getting together to when it was from them breaking up and getting back together.
Oh, really?
Yeah. To the day.
That's weird.
Crazy.
That is crazy. I mean,
Either getting together or the release of Definitely Maybe, which I think is probably more accurate because they were actually together before Noel took them on.
you talk about them arguing, but actually, that was part of the charm, wasn't it? When they were on stage, they were all, even on stage live, they were arguing, weren't they? On stage.
Well, I think that were also a bit of the downfall that I can't be doing. Noel's like, I can't be doing with this. Stop swinging your guitar at me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Which is what I think. But yeah, I tell you what, it was a stressful morning.
Oh, well, I was just going to say, what was it like getting the tickets? Because I've heard some stories.
So I got up, I was laid in bed, and I'd set my alarm for 8 o'clock. I thought, right, set my alarm for 8 o'clock, get up, have an hour setting everything up, but then I don't know what happened. I think I heard a car door 4 o'clock in the morning, and I looked at the clock and laid there for a bit. 4:10. I thought, sod it, I'm gonna get up. So I got
week early.
yeah, exactly. Well, and obviously, because I'd seen the day before that if you go onto the ticket page, you were presented with the countdown clock of when the tickets go on sale. So I thought, I've got an idea, light bulb moment. So I got all my laptops set up, tablet, phones. So I got multiple devices. So they were counting down, and I thought, the minute that counts down to 0, I'll end up straight in the queue for the actual tickets, and I'll be, one of the first. But anyway, it got all the way down to 9 o'clock. The clock had stopped ticking, and then it said, "Please refresh your browser." Oh, I know. I was mortified. Anyway, so I pressed refresh, and then stuck in that long, with the person and the time thing running across. You're in the queue or whatever, the lobby, waiting, and. Yeah, it was really stressful. So I was just sat in that queue, and then it was, I can't remember what numbers it were, but it was silly numbers.
The amount of people I know, and you're probably the same, that have all done this same thing.
Yeah,
All you've heard
exactly.
from everyone. I was
And-
sat in this queue. I was sat in that queue.
I got the Ticketmaster app, and in my lack of wisdom, I suppose, I got the Ticketmaster app on my phone, and I got the browser on the laptop, and I didn't realise that one would be conflicted against the other. So it got to 9:25, and I was like, it's not happening. Do you know what I mean? At this time, I'm thinking, this gig has sold out. It's going to have sold out in 10 or 15 minutes. You know, nobody knew any different at that point because it was just like, well, we're expecting a really fast sellout. So it got to that time, and I said to Ellen, sod it, come on, let's take Darcy to training. She went, no, you wait here. You wait for your tickets. I'll take Darcy training. I said, I'm not sitting staring at my screen, getting myself all depressed that I've not got tickets. Sod it.
I bet you were angry at this point, though, weren't you?
Well, actually, I'd set myself up with if I don't get tickets for 4 of us, because I wanted to be there with Ellen and Darcy and Leonie, if I didn't get the 4 tickets, then it is what it is.
And bear in mind, it is only 9:25. Let alone did they know you were going to be sat there 5 or 6 hours later.
Well, so I walked out to the car with my phone, and then my phone took me to a screen where the tickets were. So there were like 2 accessible ones, one with viewing something or other, and another one. They were obviously for disabled people, one with a carer.
And you went for them.
So then you got yeah, no. Anyway, and then there was a list of all the tickets. So I said, Ellen, I've got to go back inside. I'm on the ticket thing. Anyway, and when I were clicking on it, it wouldn't select. You couldn't select the ticket. It was like the button were locked. And I was, tapping it.
Panic setting in.
I walked in the house, I looked at my laptop. My laptop was still at 80,000 or whatever it were, and I was like, this is just crazy.
Mark's got an hammer. Hit it button.
And anyway, so I thought,
Phones through window.
Do you know what? Sod it. The reason why it's doing that is because it's sold out. So I thought, put my logical head back on, put my phone away, go back out to the car, and we'll take Darcy training. So I did that, and then I thought, that's it. Ellen said, you're right. I went, yeah, it says it is what it is. The chance of me getting one was very slim, and I've not done it. So we got to rugby training.
Can I just check? You still got it running on your phone?
No.
All right.
So I closed it all down.
Oh, okay. And what time were this then, approximately?
So we got to
were
training
this?
for about 20 to 10.
Okay.
We usually do 10 or 15 minutes, Darcy, practicing the kicking. And one night Dad said, did you get tickets then? I was like, no. I'm still in queue. And I was like, well, surely it's all sold out, hasn't it? No. And then somebody else come over. Yeah, I'm still in queue. And I was like, yeah, but surely they've sold out. So then, obviously, I was like,
Panic sets in.
what if? So I opened the app again, and then I was like, ooh, I'm in a queue. So maybe they haven't sold out. And then I got a message popped up and said, account suspended or something to that effect. We suspect that you are a bot. And I was like, oh, this is charming. So I refreshed it. Same again. Refresh. Anyway, so I put it away and I thought, sod it, I'm not getting on. Anyway, about another half an hour or so, thought I'll have another look.
See if I can select them squares with traffic lights
Every time
in.
somebody walks past you at training, somebody's going, hey, did you manage to get tickets? Oh, yeah, my sister's got tickets. Oh yeah, we've been trying all morning. We've not. And I'm like, let me just try again. And it kept coming up. You were blocked, but you're a bot and this, that and the other. Anyway, so training finished at 11 o'clock. Drove home, got home for 11:15 or whatever. Walked in the living room, and my laptop was sat at 44,000 in the queue, and I thought,
What was it when you started it, by the way?
it was 80 odd thousand when we
Now
when
44,000.
it was 44,
Right,
and
okay.
I thought,
So that's still clicking down.
it's
That's
still counting down. So I'm
still counting
thinking, And the night before, I'd been out on Lash, and I know, as you do.
As you do.
Yeah.
As you do, yeah.
And Ellen did say to me, you could do it in an hour this afternoon because I think I was gigging that night. And I said, I'll be all right. And I thought, I've got to keep an eye on this screen because you never know. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, so I was sat watching it and I was taking screenshots of it as it were counting down, 20,000, 10,000. I thought, oh, here we go.
Quick question. So from going from 20 to 10,000, how long you were talking? 10 minutes? An hour?
Well, I don't know exactly. I think, by the time it got to the point where, I'll come to it.
Okay.
So when it got to like 1,000, then it dropped to if I remember rightly, 848. Then it went literally then 800, 400, 200, 80, 40, and I was like, oh my god, I'm landing in a second, and it literally dropped in no time. This was about 1:30, I think it was. So
You got in at 11. So you
Well,
nearly.
because it was still on from before
it
that.
was still counting down from 9 o'clock.
From 9 o'clock
Yeah.
in the morning.
Yeah.
So anyway, and then I got into the room and I was like, oh my god, I'm in the room. And so I'm like, right, what do I... And there were 2 accessible tickets, and the only ticket available outside of those 2 was the VIP hospitality. You get entry to an exhibition, and you get, some souvenirs and whatever, and VIP standing. £450 a ticket. So I thought, well, if I were going to pay, whatever I was going to pay, then I might as well just pay this, and it's an experience for all of us, and Ellen will kick me head in anyway. So, sod it. We'll have 4 of them. So I closed my eyes, bit down, and thought, right, let's go for it. And anyway, I tapped on it, and it said, we were unable to reserve your tickets. Error. So we're like, what? Maybe it has sold out. So I tried it again, as you do, and you tried it again. And then I thought, I wonder if they have sold out. So I tried the accessible ones, and that said the same. So I thought, yeah, they've sold out. Anyway, I pressed it one more time, and the screen refreshed. And when it came back up again, the 2 accessible tickets were there, and then the 3rd ticket had changed. The hospitality one was no longer there. It was not VIP, in demand standing. And so the original price was £148. This was now £337.50.
Okay.
For the same ticket.
For the same ticket. But at the moment when you're like, obviously you can imagine the panic. Yeah. You're like, oh, I've got a ticket. And you press on forward and it goes, we're reserving your tickets. And you're like, oh my God, I've got tickets. And then, anyway. So, yeah, there we are. Managed to get tickets.
So you clicked the £300 ones.
Yeah.
It went through. It let you select 4.
Yeah.
And that was it. You bought them for what? 1,000.
Well, the thing is, it was something like a £20 per ticket booking fee.
Was there really?
Oh, it was ridiculous. By the time I'd finished, it was £1,433, I think it was.
Wow.
It were nuts.
And these were supposed to be tickets that were, in your eyes, for Manchester, which were going to be what? How much for standing?
140
they should have been.
Yeah.
And wow.
It's interesting because somebody put there's obviously loads of memes knocking around, and what were quite funny is as I were obviously queuing, and there were people sending me messages, screenshots, and somebody done a meme, and it was the queue thing that you can see, and somebody had sent one. It was like Oasis have broken up while you're in the queue and all that sort of stuff. But no, somebody's done a meme, and it was showing a picture of people queuing for, I can't remember where they were queuing for back in '96. And they said the people at the front of the queue were paying the same price as the people at the back of the queue. Yeah. But obviously,
how do you feel about having paid so much more?
So I've got to be careful because I've filed against Ticketmaster.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Okay. And I don't know what I can and can't say because obviously I don't want to implicate anything.
Yeah.
But as many people, you're in a position of, I wanted to see. I'm going to see him. I'm going to see him.
Yeah.
Do I think Ticketmaster have been unfair? Yes, absolutely. Misleading and everything. Had they have said that this was going to take place, you could have set yourself up for the fact of, right, are you going to be in a position where you're prepared to pay that, or would you let it go and just said, you know what, actually, I'll pay 150, but I'm not going to pay 350.
Because there'd be a lot of people that did what you did and spent all day or whatever, and then got to that point and then not been able to afford it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Got to that end and gone,
Well, I know, but you don't. You're not forced to buy the ticket.
No,
the choice is.
This is a case of dynamic prices.
Dynamic pricing,
and I'd never even heard of dynamic pricing.
Oh yeah, you haven't?
No,
What?
never.
Okay.
I've never been I've never gone for tickets for something where. Don't get me wrong. I'm aware that with festivals, for example, you get first release, second release, third release, and fourth release. But at each time when they go on sale, that's the price that you're paying. So we go to Kendall Colin, as you know, every year, and they'll do first release, early bird tickets first, then there'll be first release, second release, and you know that you've got to buy them within a certain amount of time, or they'll sell out, and then you'll have to wait until the next batch comes on sale, and they'll be more expensive. So I understand that takes place, but you're always informed throughout the whole process as to how much those tickets are going to be. Whereas this was obviously a hugely different situation. Things were crashing. I mean, you could even get tickets on, supposedly, C-tickets and is it StubHub? But their websites weren't even loading, so you've got all that extra crikey, what's going off? Have they sold out? Haven't they sold out? Can I get a ticket? Am I not going to get a ticket?
Because I know we spoke about you price of the tickets, because you were sort of saying, I think they're going to be, what did you say, something like 80 quid or something.
I said they'd
originally.
We're right. Because they did start at that.
Well, they did start at 80.
At some venues, not at Manchester.
No, absolutely.
And I thought, because I knew you wanted tickets, and I thought, well, you're not. I don't think anybody's really got. Do we know of anybody that's paid 80 quid for tickets?
I don't know anyone.
I don't think.
Well, I think every.
I'm not saying
most people in the north are going to want to watch them in Manchester, home gig. Homecoming.
Because from what I know from social media and from you, for example, and everybody around me, everybody's paid a lot of money for these tickets. So I'm thinking there's no way these tickets are going to be 80 quid, even when you said they would be.
And don't forget, the starting price. And don't forget that the tickets that they are 80 quid in Wembley will be in the gods.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I mean, it's a 90,000 capacity. You're going to be sat with binoculars on.
Can I ask, did you have to select what venue you wanted?
So that's when you get into the room.
Because at this point, you've not mentioned that, whether you've actually selected.
Do you know with all the? I think you've got me thinking now because it was that frantic. I do remember choosing the day. Obviously, because
are you sure you're going to Manchester? You're not on Isle.
No,
you're not off to Guernsey or Isle of Wight or.
I'm definitely going to Manchester on the 19th of July.
I mean, I know you'd go to Timbuktu.
But what I can't remember is whether I'd selected that before the panic set in or afterwards.
Okay.
I think it was after.
Well, the only thing I can say is that I was speaking to somebody else that did very similar to you, but then didn't end up getting tickets. And one of the things that she said was the thing that annoyed her the most with Ticketmaster was you had to select your venue and your date and your venue before you started queuing. And then when you got to the end of that queue, for instance, if there were nothing left for that venue or whatever, you almost had to start again.
No. Oh. I remember now. I'm just going through it all in my sort of clearing the fog. When you get in, you're in the queue to get in the queue, if you like, and then you present it with a page, and it shows you each day and if there's ticket availability.
Right.
And it said low availability, tickets available, no availability on each one. Then you clicked on it, and that's when you picked your tickets.
Right. Okay.
What I'd like to know is, this dynamic pricing. Right, because Oasis are blaming the Ticketmaster, and Ticketmaster are
it's like the new thing, isn't it? Like social distancing. No one had ever heard of it, and now it's the key buzzword, isn't it?
So who do you think is telling the truth? Because one of them's lying.
I don't know, if I'm honest.
I mean, what I do know is that
what I will say is the only people that have called anybody else out are Oasis. They've come out and said we had nothing to do with it. Now, nobody else has saying anything to the contrary. Well, the only thing that Ticketmaster have said is that dynamic pricing is legal.
It's absolutely legal, yes.
So if anybody's almost trying to create a justification for what they've done, it's Ticketmaster.
Okay.
Yeah, because
I've got a little bit of insight into. I say insight as if I've been speaking to Oasis. I haven't. But Taylor Swift, for example,
we didn't for one second think you had.
She made the decision not to have dynamic price on any of her tickets. Mm-hmm. So her ticket price were the ticket price.
Yeah.
Because she made the decision. So I would lead to think that it were Oasis that's created this and said that
isn't the so again? Correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't it Live Nation that's doing the concert?
So Live Nation and Ticketmaster, they're part of the same. They merged in 2010 or 11, I think.
Yeah, but correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't the way it's set up? Whoever the production company is, whoever the company is, agree a price to the artist. So let's say Oasis or whatever. Once they've agreed that price, that's how much that artist is getting paid for that length of gigs and that amount of gigs.
Yeah.
And therefore, they then make their money. So like Oasis will make the same amount of money
regardless.
No matter how many tickets are sold.
I don't think that's
what
true.
Price. All right.
No.
Okay.
No, okay. From what my understanding is, they can set obviously a minimum price, but if they want to select dynamic pricing, then it's almost like an auction. They can get as much as they want. Bearing in mind that they knew they were going to.
There are so many people involved as well, aren't there? Because you've got their management.
Well, yeah, and they'll all get a cut of that percentage.
They could well be. They could well be in the know.
So I would say that ultimately, it's Oasis who's made this decision. That's what I would say.
I don't believe that's the case.
Because they are the band, they're in charge.
No.
Yeah, they are.
Because they are. I genuinely believe, let's say it's Live Nation. Live Nation, I think, will have gone to whoever's decided they're going to do it. They've gone to them and said, right, well, if you do it, we'll pay you this much to do it. And they'll either go yes or no, we're prepared to do it for that fee. And then, like you said, any sales outside of that, everything from
that's how I thought it worked.
Mm.
Yeah, from merchandise to everything, they'll have nothing to do with it. I mean, none of that. That's not their money.
I don't think that's the case because, as I said, a lot of artists has full control over what they decide.
Yeah.
And like I said, Taylor Swift made the decision that she didn't want dynamic pricing, so she didn't do that.
She may have more. Like you say, we don't know. It's all
we don't know, but that's what
I think
because clearly one of them's lying. Because they're both blaming each other.
No, they're not.
Well, they are.
I think
Oasis are saying, "Don't look at us, nothing to do with us," and they're saying, and the promoters are saying, the Ticketmaster is saying, we're only doing what the artists have told us, and they wanted dynamic pricing.
I knew that they'd made a statement saying that it's legal, but
it is legal, but you have a choice if to switch it on or off.
Yeah.
So I think Oasis are just cashing in. Now, I'm not pointing a finger going, you shouldn't be doing that. But that's, I think, what they're doing.
I mean, whilst ever dynamic pricing is legal, then everyone's doing it, aren't they? I mean, it's not just concerts. You get this
Taylor
all
Swift
the time.
Flights. I'm not a fan of Taylor Swift, but she decided not to do it.
Hotels, everything at the minute seems to be dynamic pricing, even food.
I mean, for the record, dynamic pricing has been around for a long time.
Absolutely.
And, it goes back to the same old conversation of what we've had before regarding supply and demand. I think what Mark's getting at, correct me if I'm wrong, no, other one.
As ever.
Is it wasn't very transparent.
It wasn't transparent at all.
It wasn't very transparent.
No.
So, like, for instance, if all the lead up to this or the marketing to this would be tickets start from this but can range up to this, then at least you can go into it with your eyes wide open.
Yeah. But in order for that to be transparent enough, they shouldn't have said this venue will cost this much, this will cost this. It's this way. Tickets will start from £75 or whatever. That's what
and interestingly, the VIP ticket didn't change price. That was the price from start to finish, and then it just disappeared and then was replaced.
I mean, you're right. Listen, I'm all for transparency, but at the end of the day, if I were an Oasis fan like Mark, there's no way I'm thinking, well, I'm going to get a ticket for £80. When you spoke about it, I thought these are going to be £300-400 easy.
No, because the minute they'd announced how much they were going to be on sale for, I'm expecting to pay £150 a ticket. I thought, you know what, £600 for four of us.
But I wouldn't expect that because I knew about dynamic pricing. So I think I'm going to be paying. There's no way they're selling me a ticket for £80. I don't think
dynamic pricing it happened when Liam Gallagher played Nebworth. Well, I think, obviously, I don't know for certain because I do remember jumping on it. I think it was £90 a ticket.
Well, that's Networth. That's not. That's a festival. We're not talking about a festival here. We're talking about a concert.
It's not. It's a. Well, they're all.
There's just Oasis on Networth.
No. So it was Liam Gallagher. So they will class it as a little mini festival. There'll be 3 or 4 bands on. That's all. Warming up.
Well, I know, but at Networth were they just Oasis?
No, just Liam Gallagher.
Just him.
And a band, but it wasn't Oasis. It was Liam Gallagher.
Oh,
yeah. Nebworth is like a venue.
Yeah, and it's
not a festival.
And it was 80-odd thousand.
Oh, okay.
And outside, and it was highly revered. It was like, wow, Liam Gallagher, because he was trying to get Noel to play Nebworth at the same time, and he were having none of it.
I thought Nebworth sorry, I'm getting confused. I thought that were a festival. There were different bands on.
Nebworth is actually still...
Nebworth.
It's an event. It's a place.
Nebworth is a... So
is it?
It's in.
I thought it was a festival.
No.
Is it not?
No.
What is it? Not in a field?
Right. So if you let me finish.
Is it not in a field?
All right, then, Mark.
Have you heard of Glastonbury?
Yeah.
It's in a place called Glastonbury.
Yeah, but it's in a field. It's not a building.
So right,
it's a place.
It is. So it's both. So Nebworth is a stately home.
Well, I don't know.
So Nebworth House.
Yes.
Is Nebworth is a.
So it's in the house.
No. It's a huge stately home with huge gardens.
Right, so it's exactly what I'm saying.
It's not a festival.
Not a festival.
It's in the fields, outside, an outdoor gig, concert.
That's what I'm saying.
It's not a festival.
So does it stay up all the time, or does it come down?
What, the house?
No, where they have the festival.
The concert.
Yeah, the concert.
The same as any other concert. They take them down.
Yeah, so it's exactly that's what I'm saying. So it's not a building, it's not a place, it's in a field.
But it's still Nebworth House exists and the gardens exist. People rent the field and say, right, we want to have a gig.
But what I'm getting is, my understanding of Nebworth is that they have different artists there, don't they? It's not exclusive to Oasis. They don't just do Oasis.
No. Robbie Williams has played there.
Well, exactly.
On his own concert.
Okay. Well, listen, I don't think I'm getting my point across to you.
Go on, carry on then.
No. I'm
Nebworth isn't a festival.
No,
that's it.
It's a place.
Okay.
I want to get to the bottom of it.
That has concerts.
What makes you think it's a festival?
Because it's outside.
Because they have different places there, and it's not a building. So that's why, and it's outside. So I always class it as a festival.
No, a festival is where you have multiple artists at the same time.
That's
in that field at the same time on that stage.
Yeah, Rob, I know that. I just thought that Nebworth were exactly like
Like a small Glastonbury?
Like Glastonbury.
No.
But
No. It is just a venue.
So Taylor Swift, for instance, could do Nebworth. And you might go, there'd be some supporting acts on before Taylor Swift.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then there'd be Taylor Swift.
All right, well, that's what I misunderstand it. I thought it were like Glastonbury. That's all. Okay.
End of the day, though, Mark, you just got to roll with it.
And don't look back in anger.
Absolutely.
So is anyone else going?
Yeah. So
Like 800,000 other people.
I know. So obviously, before the actual tickets went on sale, they announced that they were going to do a ballot, a pre-sale ballot.
Yeah.
And you had to answer a question, and you put your name in a hat, effectively. And then, if you were selected, you got to go into a pre-sale, and the likelihood of getting tickets, I think, was a bit higher, even though they said they weren't guaranteed. So I had to go, Seb had to go, and Seb managed to get tickets. He managed to get
through the ballot.
Yeah, he managed to get 4 tickets.
Oh,
and he actually said to me, "Look, I only want 2 tickets. You can have the other 2." And I was really grateful to him, but I also knew that Rackham wanted to take his daughter. Mm-hmm. And I said, "Well, I only really, I want to go, but I only really want to go. Granted, with everybody else, obviously, if I can get Helen and 2 girls a ticket at the same time." Because
Can I just say, but in text messages you didn't say that. You said us 4. I got really excited. I thought you got us 4 tickets.
No. There would be no.
I weren't excited because I don't want to go.
No offense, but I won't be crying on your shoulder to Champagne Supernova, much like I will be when I'm stood next to Helen. But so it's going to be a good gig. We're gonna go up. We're all going to camp. Have some, do something on Friday night, and then
You taking caravan?
we found a
Very
campsite.
Very good.
Did you try to get tickets, Rob?
I didn't, mate.
And did you try, Kirk?
No, I had. I don't really have any interest at all. I think it'll be a great gig. I think I'm not saying that there'll be anything wrong with it, but I've never been a massive Oasis fan.
No.
I think they've done a couple of good tracks that I like,
Yeah.
but for me,
I get that.
it's just not there. The only thing I did do was I thought Mark had either got tickets or given up getting tickets, and like Mark, I thought they'd sold out by like lunchtime or whatever.
Yeah.
When I realised that Mark was still trying to get tickets and the tickets available, I did log on to try and see whether I could try and get through to try and help or whatever.
I remember you
but
saying.
in the end, he ended up obviously further along the queue than I was, so it didn't make any difference. But I think it's a great thing. I think it's a great thing that they have got back together. I think it's going to make a lot of people happy.
It's going to make a lot of people very rich.
If they get there.
Mark's still not.
That's the thing.
You're still not convinced, are you?
The thing is,
I mean, I'm just playing devil's advocate. It sounds like I don't know. In 3 months' time, they go, "We're cancelling it all." A bit like what comedian did. What's his name? Peter Kay. Bit like, although I understand why he did it, but imagine if Oasis were calling off. Just think of money they would have earned in interest. I mean, okay, everybody gets paid the money, but then interest they would have got.
I don't think
Not
that
saying
there'll
they're
be a
doing that.
fallout now, because the cash out, it's a one. They've only got one hit at it.
Yeah.
And there are rumours
For the big money.
There are rumours that Noel's going to sell the catalogue. And
the back catalogue.
He won't sell that until they've got this out of the way, because they'll have rights to the to everything that comes from it.
I also imagine there'll be a fine as well to both of them if they pull out. If they just
like a penalty.
Yeah,
from the
Live
promoters.
Nation.
There might be, but they'd still get millions of pounds from it, wouldn't they? By doing nothing, because of the interest they make from the money.
you keep saying this, the money's not going in their bank.
No, it's going in there, but it's going in somebody's bank.
Live Nation.
I mean,
Live Nation.
What I'm saying,
being like a holding account,
I'm not
won't it?
saying the point. What I'm saying is, if they cancel it, regardless who cancels it, and they pay everybody back, all this millions of pounds sat in a bank account is earning interest.
You have
someone's
you
going to get.
You have seen interest rates, haven't you? For
savings. but you know, I'm not saying it's going to happen.
Well, accounts, you put money in savings these days, and your money goes down.
I'm being very cynical, but if they did that, they could do that.
Yeah.
And
You're being very
just think
cynical.
what money they could get.
On another note, though, you said you're going away in band. Are you literally going? Will you go to Manchester for that whole period?
No.
Manchester will be buzzing.
Yeah, well, no, we're going to have kids with us, so I think we'll go to campsite on Friday night.
Kids. How old's Leonie?
Well, she's in her 20s. and Darcy's...
She's still a kid,
well,
though.
Darcy
She's still your kid, isn't
Darcy
she?
will be
Yeah.
14.
I get what you're saying.
But no, I think... You're right, it'll be rammed, won't it? And I think we'll go to site, we'll have a few beers, chill out, get excited and, play some Oasis music, and then go to.
You're going to play some Oasis music and then go to a concert and have more.
Everybody will.
Would there not be like an overdose Oasis?
That's why I'd be wanting to go into Manchester City Centre to feel there'll be a right vibe. There will be a massive vibe.
I love Manchester in general.
Yeah, I
I
do.
think Manchester.
Manchester's nice.
I've been to Manchester a few times, but not. I've never really like gone out or anything. I've been to Imperial War Museum in Manchester, and been to a couple of meetings in Manchester, but I can't say I've ever done anything outside of it.
It's got a great nightlife, as as just
it's
being a great place. I love
Canal Street, Rob.
Canal Street.
Absolutely, fantastic.
Fantastic
He'll
night out
look
in
down
Canal
there.
Street.
Yeah.
Fantastic night out. I've been a couple of times out on Canal Street, and it's an absolute fantastic night out.
Is it?
Absolutely.
What sort of night is it? Fantastic.
Absolutely fantastic, and very glittery.
I can imagine.
Oh yes, it
Very
will be.
glittery, but no, I like the feel of Manchester. Full stop. Like even when you're there, for the day, or do you know what I mean? It's just got a buzz about it.
Yeah.
You know, like you're going to Sheffield if you like, and don't get me wrong, there's some nice places in Sheffield, or whatever, but. Do you think it's because I'm from Sheffield? I don't feel the buzz. I don't know. I just don't. I don't feel as though
Maybe because there's a few places. Manchester's one, Newcastle's another, Liverpool is great.
Yeah.
London.
Are you just working your way through a map?
Well, no, but I'm just saying there's a few key places that Edinburgh, whereas I wouldn't say the same for Glasgow. Do you know what I mean? But whereas Edinburgh has got it.
Yeah.
Birmingham, I wouldn't. I wouldn't
never been out in
particularly say
Birmingham,
that
so I don't know.
Birmingham.
Birmingham had City of Culture, didn't it, the year?
did it.
I think so.
I think it did actually. Yeah,
and
but
then before Liverpool did.
I know Liverpool
okay.
did years. That was years ago. That European City of Culture.
Oh, that's the point. We can't have them anymore, can we?
No.
what about Leeds?
What?
As a
Culture or?
As a place that you
It's
got,
all
it's got
right,
that
but it's
vibe,
not.
it's got a-
It's a bit like Sheffield. I think it's sort of struggling against Manchester.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I was a bit shocked. Leeds is not somewhere where I have been a lot or whatever. But my wife's from Wakefield, so obviously more that end of the, weird side of Yorkshire is what I like to say. Not from proper Yorkshire like us. But they once when we got together and stuff, I went to Leeds a bit more in that area, and I was quite shocked how nice it is. Actually, I'll be honest. Like how again that feeling. It's not Manchester. No, it's not. But I would definitely say that Leeds is better than Sheffield. For atmosphere, I'm not.
Yeah.
Controversial, this. Controversial.
What we're talking about Leeds, just a strange fact. Leeds is the biggest city in Europe that doesn't have a tram system. There you go, a little fact that.
Oh, didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
What? That you didn't have a tram system?
I didn't know that. Well, both. I didn't know they didn't have a tram system, and I didn't know that there were the.
Anyway, carry on.
And when
talking
it
about-
comes to
as we were.
places like that, I do tend to favour some of the more northern cities like Newcastle and Liverpool, just because you feel like you're somewhere completely different, just purely from the accents. Do you know, like because it's so different.
What
isn't
you
it?
feel as though you've gone abroad?
You may as well have.
I must have. I've got a soft spot for the Geordie accent.
Yeah.
I quite like it. I think it's quite a quirky sort of,
Yeah, it's all right.
seemingly happy and warm
Yeah.
sort of accent.
I prefer that over the Scouse.
But I'm certainly not going to. I'm certainly not going to push Sheffield down the
no,
down
I'm
the
not.
list. I think it depends what you call, what you like in a city, I suppose. But Sheffield's definitely got a buzz around it.
Yeah, it is. We're getting better. It's getting better.
Yeah.
Because they're building new things, they're converting things, new bars. There's that new hotel that's opened in Sheffield on is it Leopold Street?
The one attached to Bramall
No,
Lane?
not no. The one
Leopold Square.
Opposite the Peace Gardens.
Oh yeah.
That's that new hotel. It's got a roof bar that overlooks
Oh,
Peace
right.
Garden.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we're sort of getting there. But it's a slow.
I just class Sheffield as home. And,
Yeah.
I think it's because it's familiar, isn't it? And
Yeah.
And when you're going for something different, you go right. I want something less familiar, which is why you go on holiday, isn't it?
Yeah.
You say, I'm going to go away for a weekend. You wouldn't go in your own town, would you, for a weekend? You'd probably go to another city.
It's surprising how much of the UK I haven't seen, if you want me to be honest. In relative terms, we're a small island, aren't we?
Yeah.
We're tiny, aren't we?
Yep.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And when I look at some of the places in the UK that I haven't been,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? It's like, it's crazy really, because it's only a couple of hours here or, few hours there
Yep.
and stuff. And I don't think I don't think enough people do that enough and try different cities and
You think so? I think they do, but I think they tend to latch them onto hen do's, stag do's, and 40ths, don't they?
Yeah, to be fair.
They do, don't they?
Yeah.
You know, you got to like Liverpool or Newcastle or even Manchester and Leeds, I suppose.
Yep.
And you can guarantee there's going to be a buzz of on that Friday and Saturday night, blokes dressed as women and women walking around with big inflatable things.
Like what?
Well, that's just
Inflatable
normal life.
dolls
That's
and-
normal life now, Mark.
Hey,
That's just
paraphernalia.
normal life. That now. Men dressed as women.
I'm not. Go on.
Say it.
I'm getting like Mark here. Anatomical,
Don't drag me into this.
Anato-
It's your spelling.
inflatable anatomy bits.
I mean?
We'll go with
But,
that. Yeah.
What gets me is that all these cities are relatively quite close to each other. Yeah, but yet they're so different. As in, it's almost like each like main area's got their own like culture.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it blew my mind, for instance, when I got with Daisy. So bear in mind, she's just from Wakefield. She's from West Yorkshire.
20 mile away.
And I'm from proper Yorkshire, South Yorkshire, right? And it absolutely blew my mind that when we talked about... So you know what I mean by pie and peas?
Yeah.
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 Yeah? So if I said to you three now around this table, we're going to go out, we're going to have pie and peas, what would you expect?
Pie and peas.
Meat and potato
And a
pie
pint of
and
scone.
some
With
mushy
some
peas.
mushy peas and gravy.
Yeah, so what kind of pie?
Meat and
meat-
potato pie.
meat, potato.
Chicken
Yeah.
and mushrooms, something like
Yeah,
that.
something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, no, not in West Yorkshire. In West Yorkshire, pie and peas is pork pie.
What?
Warm pork pie and mushy peas.
What, like,
Really?
Like pork pie that you have in a pub?
Yeah.
Warm.
Well, that's pork pie. Not a pie. Well, it is a pie, but not. You don't. That's weird,
listen,
isn't it?
listen, I'm with you guys.
I feel you. I feel you.
But what blew my mind is the fact that Daisy was looking at me as though I was the strange one.
Yeah.
As though I was the strange one. As though pork pie and peas that you have on like bonfire night or whatever when you're out and about is the norm. And I was strange, the fact that meat and potato. To the point where when we got married, in the evening, we had a hog roast and we had pie and peas, yeah, for the evening food. And I don't know whether you was sober enough to realise, but
I wasn't. Mark wasn't.
but the pie, we end up having to have two different pies. We end up having to have pork pie
For West Yorkshire.
and meat and potato pie.
For South Yorkshire.
Because
So Kurt can have two pies. You can have a bit of each.
I didn't have anything to eat on my wedding night.
you not?
Not one. I literally took one bite of a hog roast sandwich, and then someone came and said, "You've got to go and do your first dance." And that was all I had to eat all night on my wedding night.
Because you ended up in A&E.
I've got a question then, probably more directed towards Daisy then. So if we have a pie and peas, well, obviously we'd have that warm.
Yes.
Now, when I have pork pie,
Yeah.
right, I don't have that warm. So when they have this pie and mash, do they pie and peas? Sorry, yeah,
Pie and mash?
Well, you do have pie and mash, but pie and peas. Do they have the peas cold and the pie, or that hot and both warm?
Both
What?
warm.
They have pork pie warm.
Yeah.
weird.
So
So I'd rather
literally-
have pork pie warm than cold mushy peas.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, true, but
So
that's,
literally, so you know, like the jelly and everything that's in a pork pie.
yeah.
Yeah, that's runny. They almost
Runny?
like. Yeah.
Ooh.
Now, can I just say
I
something?
bet that's quite nice.
Yeah.
Can I just say something?
Really?
Since I've been with Daisy, I have tried warm pork pie and peas with a bit of mint sauce.
Oh, yeah.
And it's nice.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not going to take anything away from it.
No, but it's
Okay.
not beef
It's
and
nice.
tater, is it?
But it's not pie and peas.
No.
No.
And it's not. Yeah, it's not. You need a nice crusty pastry.
And it's literally 20 minutes away.
Yeah.
Another thing what I find confusing with food is when you go to a chip shop and you're trying to get a scallop or fish scallop.
Yeah.
So first of all, I'm talking about a piece of fish with obviously sandwiched between two pieces of potato.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then
battered
battered.
up and
It's a-
battered.
It's a fish cake.
Yeah. Now I call it a scallop, right? Not a fish cake. A
That's
fish,
from Sheffield. That's why.
a fish cake is obviously them smaller things.
You're-
No, that's a risol.
You're
no,
what
that's a fish cake.
No, that's a risol.
That's a fish cake. to
You're
me.
what is called
But
a
I'm from
deedar.
I'm from Sheffield.
Yeah.
So again, these are called different things. So if I'm when you,
A fish cake is a piece of fish caked in between two pieces of paper.
No,
Two pieces of
sorry.
paper.
I
Two
just-
pieces
no,
of potato.
sorry, I'm confused myself. Yes, sorry. God, yeah, I'm confused myself. That is a fish cake to me, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a fish cake.
So what's a scallop?
So
It's just potato.
just a potato.
battered
A
potato.
battered potato.
Yeah, which is correct.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. Yeah,
But
I
if
got
you do go
confused.
to other places like Lincolnshire, then the fish cake that we would call, they call it a Yorkshire fish cake because that's what we call it.
Yeah, and those some small things are rissoles.
That's
yeah.
right.
So some places in Yorkshire you go to. That's why I got confused. You go and I'll go. Can I have a fish cake? And they give you a rissole. And they give me a rissole. I'm going.
Yeah.
Oh no. And then I'm going. No, that.
I don't want a bird's eye fish cake. I want a proper fish cake.
And they're going. Oh, you mean a scallop? I'm like. No,
a
fish cake.
Yeah,
but again, there's differences in that. Because every time I go in, I go. Can I have a fish cake? But it's one. And they go, no, you mean a fish or fish scallop? Sometimes they call them.
Try travelling the country and asking for a bread cake.
Oh, God, I know.
A cob.
What, I mean, it's a bread cake.
It's a bread cake,
absolutely.
Yes.
Where is it that calls it a cob?
Look, I've heard it cob, roll, bread roll, tea cake.
Tea cake.
Some people call it tea cake.
Yeah.
Tea cake's got fruit in it.
Barnsley, they call them deer cake.
Dear cake.
They pronounce every letter. They say,
Yeah.
do you want a tear cake?
Bomb cake.
And you go, no, it's got crumbs in it. No,
cakes.
it can't. That's a fruit tear cake.
In fact,
A batch.
I'm sure I saw somebody on Facebook's call a bread cake a scone.
Well, that's just silly.
That's just stupid.
No, and somebody said something. They went, no, it's a scone. They went, what do you call scones? And they went, we don't know what scones are. I'm like, oh, come on.
I remember going to a chippy once in Lincoln, right? And I can't remember what I ordered. And she said, do you want scrimps with that?
What?
Oh, scraps.
Scrimps. And I
Scrimps?
I was like, what? Do you want scrimps? And I was like, what's... And it were bits.
Scraps or bits.
Scrimps.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
I've lost track of the amount of arguments I've had about a bread cake, but it's a bread cake.
Yeah,
and
bread
that's
cake.
it.
That is a big one,
That's
isn't it?
it. That's a bread cake.
What I don't understand is, you know, when I don't know, we started off with Adam and Eve, apparently. And then when we had us,
Where's this
well,
going?
you know,
Well, carry on, Mark,
and
I'm listening.
we had this first couple who landed on this island, you know, Dave and Mildred or whatever you want to call them.
Oh,
and
I
they
haven't read about
And they
them.
had pork.
yeah, and they were like, right,
And they had pie and peas.
we'll start a family, and they did start a family, and then the family fleet nest, and they go, right, I'm bored of this where I live now. There's nobody else on this island apart from us. I'm going to go further up north, but when I get up there, I'm going to talk different.
It's not the same people.
Do you know what I mean? So it's like,
Well, anyway.
Well, I thought it were related to back in hundreds of years ago. The
well,
difference
this would have been a
between
long before that, Rob.
Well, I get that, but I thought
I
it
wanna
was
go
to
back
do
to
with
food anyway, go on.
accents came from like the Anglo-Saxons and different armies taking over different areas, and they came with their own accents
exactly
from
right.
the countries, right?
And so where they started, Adam and Eve,
Yeah,
they started off, just
from-
them two.
they
In
were
Yorkshire.
Yorkshire, I think.
Wherever they started, Garden of Eden and wherever that was, and they were like, right, they had kids, and then they said, right, we're going to fleet nest. I'm going to go to, I don't know, Turkey, or I'm going to go to America, or I'm going to, well, maybe not, 'cause it's not been found yet.
Are they getting there?
They're working their way around the Middle East to different countries, and they make their way across to Europe. And then
How?
all of a sudden, they start off speaking whatever language they talk. Then they get to Spain, they go, I'm fed up of talking like that. I'm going to make up a language called Spanish. and then,
Well, listen,
do you know what I mean?
I get where you're coming from, Mark.
Because these
How
people-
does it start? That's what you're
what
saying.
I'm
How
saying
does
is
it?
all these people didn't fall out of the sky and go, I'm Spanish, I'm German, I'm Austrian, I'm English, I'm Italian. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It started off apparently as one couple that decided that they were going to have a family, and that family would then strangely breed with themselves, and then spread into more people, spread across the world. And as they were spreading across the world, they were going, my dad talks like this, I don't like that. I'm going to talk like that. I'm going to, you know.
Mark, strangely, I'm with you on this.
Do you know what I mean?
As in, how they're speaking French, they're speaking Spanish, but how has that occurred?
Yeah,
Why have they suddenly started speaking the different?
And then you've got people that like, right, they start off in Rotherham and they say, right, I'm going to make a new town called Barnsley, and I'm going to open a fast food place called it a Chip Oil.
Well, you see, dialects I can understand because people get lazy with the words. But when you're talking about
Lazy with the words and just changing them completely.
but when you're talking about different languages, that's completely different. But you go, where does this start?
Well, yeah, but I think I understand. I understand what you're saying. But first of all, you've got to decide whether you're going to buy into Adam and Eve or not. That's one question. That's one thing. But then the way that you just described it, I understand. But you're skipping thousands of years.
No, I think he's starting from
but the process is the same.
I wasn't. I'm thinking about from day one.
But the process is the same.
How does it start?
Yeah, but that's like saying, how did English start?
Yeah, but that's No, it's not. That's completely different.
It's exactly what I'm saying. So what
well,
I'm
that's
saying
not what
is
I'm saying.
the two people that started off were speaking a particular. Well, they were probably grunting at each other
Yeah,
because
they
words
were
hadn't
grunting.
been invented yet. They weren't a dictionary. They didn't know what to say.
Yeah,
So
they
they
were
started
grunting.
off grunting. They had 2 kids. They decided when they got to 18, which there were rules then, that they have to change. Do you know what I mean? They got a passport. That out of slate,
crikey.
and decide, right, let's cross here, and I'll draw a line in the ground, and I'm going to say that is no longer wherever I am, and I'm going to make a new country, and I'm going to talk different over thousands of years.
No, but going back to your point, I can understand where like one language came from. Like, let's say English, because obviously they started grunting and they put sounds together, and when words come out. But then what I don't understand is how French then start.
I don't think it started off with English, is what I'm saying. If we did start with Adam and Eve, we'd have started in the Middle East.
Yeah, but I think what Mark's saying is the fact that he understands how one language can.
Yeah, I can
That's
understand.
what I'm- yeah,
because of
and
grunting
yeah.
and sounds and then they go,
Maybe it did start with English.
Well,
who knows?
Well, I'm not saying it did or it didn't, but let's say it started with Spanish or French. Don't matter what language it started with. How does it evolve into all these other languages? That's what I'm saying.
Well, because you've got different generations of people, so they might have started off by speaking whatever language, right? But you might have to go through 30 generations before it turns into something else, and that's just down to someone calling something something else, calling something someone else, or whatever.
So what you're telling me is that in 30 generations' time,
yes,
people in Rotherham will be talking differently to what they are now?
Maybe. How do we know?
No chance.
Would you not think that 30 generations ago language was different? We already know that
there were probably no internet.
We already know that Middle England and stuff like that, and talked very different to how we speak now.
Absolutely, because we were primitive, but we're now a very intelligent, supposedly.
Well, a lot of people would say that Middle England was more English, that speaks more English than what we do now. We're the ones that have created slang. We're the ones that have created different variations of word and abbreviations of words. We don't speak what you would call the Queen's English. Or the King's English, or whatever it is now. So language, as a lot of people would say, devolved over the years, but it's still changed.
No, it's not devolved at all. There are more words in the vocabulary now than there ever have been, and that will always be the case.
Yes, more. Sorry.
Yeah, no. I think what you mean by devolved, as in we don't speak the Queen's English. We're very loose with those words, and we don't.
If we travelled now from where we are now back 300 years. To the same place.
We could see Bertha Mark.
And we
hello guys, I'm here.
And we travel back. There's a good chance that we could speak to someone. We're both speaking English. We're both speaking fundamentally the same language.
Yeah.
But they wouldn't understand us because the language has changed.
Yeah, that could be.
Yeah, I understand I understand the principle of what you're saying, but I don't think it's going to carry on changing to the point of it becoming something completely different.
What blows my mind is way far from many of you, but even way more modern.
Now
than
there's
that.
a surprise.
even just in the UK, and I would say it's modern in comparison to the time scales that you're talking about, but even just London Cockneys with Cockney rhyming slang.
Yeah.
Who thought that saying brown bread would be easier than just saying they were dead? We had to make up things. Which and there's if that's giving me an idea. Keep talking amongst yourselves.
Yeah.
I've got an idea.
I think it's.
Oh dear.
That I think is people creating a type of comic.
Almost like inventing their own on purpose.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Because they're a bit more comical, a bit more, oh yeah, you heard about something? Oh yeah, brown bread. And it's a bit more like jovial, isn't it? And I think that's what they've done. They've deliberately done something.
I'd be willing to bet, and I don't know, and I'm not claiming to know any kind of facts around it at all, but I'd be willing to bet that something like Cockney rhyming slang was developed by someone for, I don't want to say secret communication, but
by code,
a way of communicating by code.
Yeah.
That's what I'd put my. That's what
Don't let Hitler know that he's.
Like to think that.
Don't let Hitler know that he's dead or that he went upstairs.
Because like saying like, oh, he's brown bread, you wouldn't think that. I mean, we know that means dead or going up the apples and stairs. Apples and pears. It's stairs.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't.
Thanks
If
for
you didn't know
explaining
that,
that.
you
wouldn't know.
What's that?
Well, I found him.
Here we go. Oh,
I'm going to test you.
Oh, okay.
On some Cockney rhyming slang.
Stairs,
But
apples
I'm
and
going
pears.
to do it very fast, right?
You're going to test some Cockney rhyming.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I'm going to give you the
Okay.
Cockney, and you've got to tell me what it is.
Okay.
Are we
Yeah.
just shouting out?
Yeah. Shout as fast as you
Okay.
can. I'm going to do it really
Well,
fast.
I'll be slow on this.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Right. Army and Navy.
Gravy.
Yeah.
Oh, well done.
Yeah.
Basin of gravy.
What?
Basin of gravy.
Basin
Hold
of-
on. Will it help if I say it in it? Hold on. Apples and pears. Apples and pears. Apples and pears. Army and Navy. Right. Basin of gravy.
Basin of a grave.
Basin of gravy.
Are you Welsh?
Baby. That's what it is.
Baby, right?
Bees and Annie.
Money.
Borrow and beg.
Leg.
No. Borrow and beg.
Skeg.
Egg. Bottle and stopper.
What?
You're
Copper.
not getting. Oh yeah, I
Oh,
think
well
you're
done.
going to get that one. Let me know there. Coals and coke.
Bloke.
Broke.
Broke.
Oh,
Yeah.
bro.
And let's have a look. Dustbin lids. That one very cockney, was it?
Kids.
I'll give you another one.
I'm also whether it were kids.
Is it kids?
Kids.
Oh,
Yeah.
Dustbin lids,
Duck and
yeah.
dive.
What?
Duck and dive.
Chive.
Hide. That doesn't really work, does it? Fisherman's daughter. That's an easy one. Fisherman's daughter.
Daughter.
Water.
Yeah. Gay and arty.
What?
Gay and hearty, but I'm
Gay
trying
and
to say it in
hearty?
Cockney.
Gay and arty.
Gay and arty.
That's what you are at weekends.
Naughty.
Come on, you want to come to gay and arty?
Party.
Yes. Light and dark. You coming for a walk in the light and dark park? Merry-go-round.
Pound.
Yes.
Oh.
Pig and roast.
Toast.
Yes. You're good at these.
Mocks are good.
Yeah, I used to be a chimney sweep.
I'm going to go and get some money out of the rattle and clank.
Bank.
Yeah. I had a good old drink. I'm feeling a bit Scotch mist.
Pissed.
Yay!
I know that
There's
one.
loads more, but I'm not going to bore you with them all.
Oh, quite good. Everybody in
I,
London, everybody in London, listen to this and we're going, these are rubbish.
know,
And
These
his
are rubbish.
accent is horrific.
That last
Yeah.
one, I sadly I went to a wake on the weekend, and obviously I had quite a bit to drink. And Ellen went, "Come on," because she came. I said, "Come on down, Ellen. Come on." I'm coming down, but I'm not having enough to drink because she's trying to get herself in shape for the holiday. And I said, "Yeah, come on anyway." So, anyways, got to a certain point when I'd literally passed the point of no return. I was, what is it? Scotch mist.
Yeah.
And so brought me home, and I can't remember. And then I got up at middle at night for a drink, and I remember pouring myself a cordial. And obviously, you start off with a cordial, poured it into my glass, filled it up with a water bar, and when I looked at the glass, it was just water. So we're like, I've obviously not put enough in that. It was completely see-through. So I put more in. Then it were orange, and I drank it, and I took the rest of it up to bed with me. And I got up next morning, and Ellen went, "Why did you pour orange cordial into my teacup?"
Time at the bar, please.
Let's do the Willy features.
Here we go. Oh, it's spinning. What's it going to be? Oh, I'm just so excited. Come on. He's nearly there.
The Wheel of Features.
Right, so there's nothing to talk about from last week because we did Dead or Alive.
Oh, we did, yeah.
Yeah, so
I
nothing
enjoyed
to
that
go.
one.
So
Yeah.
I did actually.
Yeah,
Really
enjoyed
good,
that
Mark. That. Thank you. I'm looking forward to doing that again. So, ready to spin the wheel?
It might be
Spin the
today.
wheel.
It might
Here
be
we
today.
go.
Which one's it going to be? Which one?
What is it?
Hey!
What is it? What is it?
Fact dump.
Hey, in fact, don't play the jingle, Kirk.
He's not got one.
I haven't made one yet.
Oh, you've let the side down.
I've made two in time. You've not made any.
You have. Shall we talk about how many episodes I've edited since you've had two?
It's a very good point.
Listeners aren't bothered about that.
All right, yeah, absolutely. But I have got some facts ready to go. If you want
Here we
them.
go.
Excellent.
Love facts.
Let's have it.
Okay, settle in. How much do you think a cloud weighs?
A cloud?
A
A cloud in the sky.
I don't think you can weigh a cloud.
Well, it's got a
water.
weight, yes.
Oh, okay.
It's got mass, yeah.
I'm going to say, it depends how big it is, I suppose, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I've
An average
a kilo.
cloud.
a kilo you're going
Yeah.
with.
Oh, hang on. Clouds have rain in them, don't they? So they're,
That's
they're,
right,
they're
yeah.
going to be quite
Moisture,
heavy.
yeah.
So I think they're going to be heavier than we think.
Okay.
A
But
litre of water weighs a kilo.
Oh, okay. I'm not very good with weights.
So I'm just
but
trying to imagine what that would look like as mist.
We're getting into this,
i.e.
aren't
a
we?
cloud.
No, but clouds can be so many different sizes.
Yeah, well, we're talking average.
I mean,
anyway,
this,
go
this
for it.
just talks about a typical cloud.
Okay.
That's all it says. It
All
says,
right.
it says
Okay.
the word of a typical cloud.
I'll go for 10 kilo.
10 kilo, a kilo, and
I'll go for 5 then.
5 kilo. It weighs around 1 million tons.
What?
Yep, a cloud weighs around 1 million tons. A cloud typically has a volume of around 1 kilometre cubed and a density of blah, 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 blah. Basically, it means that it's...
You're talking about a big... I was talking about a little cloud.
Basically, it means it's got a density, a low density. That's why it floats. But
Yeah.
it weighs about around 1 million tons.
Wow.
Giraffes are 30 times more likely to get hit by lightning than people.
I think
Well,
you'll
that's
find,
because they're tall.
30 times the height.
Yeah,
I think you'll find giraffes don't exist, Kirk.
I'm guessing so. Yes, giraffes exist, Rob. What do you suppose giraffes exist? Are you stupid?
Are you stupid, Rob? Are you stupid?
What, awake or asleep? Probably awake because they don't sleep very much.
Yeah. Your brain is constantly eating itself.
What?
Yep.
Eating?
Your brain is constantly eating itself. This process is called
Eating itself.
phagocytosis. Phagocytosis.
Was it?
Yeah.
Easy for you to say.
So yeah, it's eating itself.
Does it eat itself and then does it grow back?
So where cells envelop and consume smaller cells or molecules to remove them from the system.
And then you sneeze, which is like your brain having a poo.
Guess what colour the cosmos is? If you were to look at the cosmos through a telescope, what is its average colour across the cosmos?
I'm gonna say
the universe.
Orange.
I would
Purple.
say green.
So it's latte.
Of course it is.
Oh, it's got a flavour as well.
It's latte.
Latte?
It's latte colour.
Which is what colour?
Green.
Well, it just
Orange.
it's a beige colour. Apparently,
there we
it's
go.
a beige colour.
Oh,
Very
okay.
interesting.
And I've got one more for you.
Okay.
Water is not wet.
Is it not?
Apparently.
How is it not wet?
What? Yeah.
Okay, so
What?
scientists define wetness as a liquid's ability to maintain contact with a solid surface, meaning that water
Okay.
itself is not wet.
Ah.
It can make other objects wet.
Yeah.
Ah,
But
okay.
water itself is
It's not wet.
Not wet.
Well, yeah, because it runs off just runs off your skin, doesn't it? Technically, it doesn't soak into your
Yep.
skin. So I guess that's why.
Absolutely. One quick one. What do you think's the oldest dog that's ever lived?
What do I think of it?
No. Old, yeah. How old do you think it was? How old?
Oh, right.
He was feeling wolf.
In human life, so dog lives, because it always gets a bit confusing.
Well, it just in human years.
Right.
102.
102.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm going
Okay.
to say
No.
something a bit more reasonable.
Yeah.
Now,
Okay.
I do know that small dogs, i.e. like Jack Russells, can live into the 20s, early 20s. So I'm going to hazard a guess at something a little bit of a stretch of that and say 34.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I know I'm not very good with dogs, but I know, like Mark said, some can live longer than others. But I'm going to say something like 57.
Okay. So the answer is 29 and a half.
Oh.
So not far
Well,
off.
yeah.
It says the median age of a dog tends to be about 10 to 15 years.
Yeah.
One Australian cattle dog, Bluey, survived to the ripe old age of 29 and a half.
Wow.
Wow. Do you know what? Just on that, someone told me a fact today that I did not know. It's based on animals. Did you know, is it eagles or hawks? Or one of them?
We don't.
They have a lifespan of around, I think it's 40 years. And then the only way they can survive is by pulling out their talons and breaking off their beak in order for a new one to grow. Because the beak that they have from birth is pretty much, whatever happens to it becomes, they can't use it, therefore they'll just die. The only way they can survive is if they break their own beak and rip out the talons out of their own feet or whatever you call them, and it will live for another 40 years. And if it doesn't do that, it will die. So it has that choice to make.
How does it know?
I don't really. I don't know.
suppose it just
I guess
knows,
it's
doesn't
just
it?
survival, isn't it? It must
Here,
know.
Dave, you need to be careful. You're 39 now. You need to look at pulling your toenails off.
So, is you saying that then, Rob? Does that indicate that some birds go, I can't be bothered, I'm just going to die? Or do they all do it?
It's a specific bird, and I think it's a bird of prey, like a.
Yeah, I know, but you said the only way for them to survive is for them to do that.
Yeah.
So, do they all do it then? Or
I
does some
guess.
go, I'm not going to do it?
They're all looking around going, he didn't pull his
Yeah,
beak off.
yeah.
I'm not making that bloody mistake.
Absolutely. Anyway, on that note.
Yeah, absolutely. See you later.
It's been a pleasure.
See you later.
guys.
See you,
Bye.
boys.
Thank you for your continued support with our independent podcast. Did you know that you can interact with us and other listeners on Facebook, on the Chat in Tap Room Facebook group? You can also get in touch via email, innthechat@gmail.com, and of course on any of our socials. Thank you, and we'll see you next week.